Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to the KC Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got one epic lineup today. We're talking about allergy dining, character dining, Toy Story Land, Pandora, Walt Disney World news, Disney Cruise Line, Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland. Let's get right to it. Hey, howdy, hey everyone. Welcome to the KC Podcast, Season 1, Episode 2. Thanks so much for tuning in. Of course, like usual, if you haven't been over to kingdomcuisine.com, be sure to head on over. Again, that's kingdomcuisine.com. If you're not hungry, you're going to be. If you're interested in submitting a question for us to answer here on the KC Podcast, head on over to kingdomcuisine.com. Under the Home tab, you'll see a little pull-down menu. You'll see the KC Podcast. Click on that, it'll pull up a little form, fill that out, and we'll be happy to answer your question. In addition to the form, you can also submit a question via Twitter. Let us know at Kingdom Cuisine using the hashtag AskKCPodcast. So without further ado, let's get right to it. First up on the lineup today, we're talking about allergy dining. So what are the different types of options for someone traveling with a food allergy? What types of experiences are there? Are there any tips? And we're going to kind of briefly overview this. Of course, we're not going to get in too much depth in this podcast into specific restaurants, even when we move on to the character dining. So to start off with, some experiences with dining with an allergy. We have some tips in order to help you out, but we're going to start with some recognition. So if you're headed to the Walt Disney World Resort, obviously if you're headed to any Disney resort, there are so many different options for guests that have an allergy. In fact, Disney Parks and Resorts were recognized at the very end of 2017 at the 20th Annual Food Allergy Ball held in New York City. So this ball was actually held by the Food Allergy Research and Education, or FARE, F-A-R-E. So Walt Disney Parks and Resorts were recognized as an industry leader in safe, quality dining experiences for guests with allergies and special diets. Disney Parks serves these magical meals for every guest at any type of dining experience, from a 5-star, AAA, a Diamond Award-winning restaurants, all the way down to just like a little kiosk or a quick service location. So guests with allergies are going to be offered designated menus where they're available. So what this means is when you head into, say you're dining at Be Our Guest, when you make your initial reservation, you're going to see a little box that's going to say that are there any allergies in the travel party. If you do have an allergy for any guests in the party, you're going to select that, and then will pull up that bunch of different possibilities for the allergy. You're going to select the corresponding one, and it's not going to link to a specific individual. They're going to just have that note that someone in this party has a food allergy. Say you get to Be Our Guest, you've already selected that you have an allergy. The server's already going to see that note that's going to say, someone here at this table has an allergy. It's going to be very important. They're always paying attention to those to make sure that nothing's coming in contact, to make sure that you are 100% safe when you are dining there. Initially, the server is going to bring out a specific allergy menu with the rest of the menus. And what the specific allergy menu looks like is very similar. However, there will be little designations that will say that this item is safe for maybe a seafood allergy. This different item might be safe for guests with a gluten allergy. Of course, you can certainly just ask to speak to the chef directly if you're uncomfortable, if it's your first ever time visiting there, or maybe you see something on the regular menu and you say, hey, well, I'm seeing this is on the regular menu, but it's not on the allergy menu, but it's maybe like a chicken dish or it's a steak. So can I just talk to the chef and see, what's possibly in it, or if they can maybe substitute something? They're going to be more than happy to bring the chef out, and they'll talk with you, and maybe something in the rice or some type of liquid is going to be in there that may possibly pose a threat to your allergy. What this does is it kind of puts all of these steps into place to make sure that you are 150% safe. They're obviously doing their job, right? And they're more than happy to help you out and more than happy to make that experience and that dining experience just absolutely wonderful for you. Maybe you're traveling with an allergy and you're wondering about a snack. Of course, you can pack your own snacks. However, at your resort or at numerous different places around the Disney parks, you'll find snacks with character. Now, snacks with character are going to be mainly at Walt Disney World. However, they're going to be your allergy-friendly snacks. Head on over to kingdomcuisine.com, search snacks with character. We talk about some of the different items, dark chocolate bar, the rice milk choco bar, and so many more. They're absolutely delicious, and they have very visible designations that are going to say this item is vegan, this item is gluten-free, dairy-free, and so on. So when you're inside of these counter service locations or kind of like your food courts or maybe a merchandise location at your resort, you're going to see this snacks with character section, anything from seed mixes to kind of like a trail mix, to cookies and chocolate bars and so many more. So when you arrive at Disney, we definitely suggest maybe check those out. Maybe just if you don't see them, ask a cast member. They're going to know where they are. Pick one or two up, throw them inside of your backpack because you never know when you're going to get hungry, but you can always be rest assured that, you have something that you already know is safe for you to eat. You know what's going to be inside of it. You know that it's good for your vegan or whatever diet that you need or allergy. So snacks with character, check them out. If you are interested in reading more, head on over to kingdomcuisine.com where we reviewed some of the different items there. So to kind of piggyback off of the snacks with character, we wanted to talk briefly about Aaron McKenna's Bakery NYC. Now, before we get into this, we want to make sure 100% that we were not paid by Aaron McKenna's. Our opinion on Aaron McKenna's is completely ours. Obviously, with that in mind, our opinions may be different than others, so keep that in mind when we continue to move forward, even like usual during all of these podcasts. It's going to be opinion-based, so keep that in mind. But Aaron McKenna's Bakery, it's going to be one of the somewhat new dining locations now. It's been around for a while, but it was one of the new locations that opened with the Reimagineering at Disney Springs. So Aaron McKenna's is going to be one of the strictly allergy-friendly dining locations. And dining locations is kind of a stretch. It's more or less, it's obviously just a bakery, but it has that small hometown bakery type feel. Everything is made fresh, and it's absolutely wonderful. And the staff in there is always going to be super friendly and super helpful. So if it's your first time visiting there, or maybe you don't even have an allergy, but you're interested in saying, hey, well, why not give it a try? They're going to be able to help you out and guide you to making the right choice. So we wanted to mention Aaron McKenna's here. Not go into too much detail. You can find Aaron McKenna's actual website online. Their full menu is not available on My Disney Experience, but you can check out their website. They have part of their menu on there. Now, pricing-wise, Aaron McKenna's is actually somewhat in line with most snacks that you're going to find around Disney parks, if not, maybe a little bit less expensive. So when you're kind of factoring that in, be sure to check out Aaron McKenna's. You may be able to grab like a brownie or some cookies and stuff to be able to throw inside of your bag while you're walking around or exploring different shops at Disney Springs. Again, if you're interested in checking out some of the items from Aaron McKenna's, head on over to our website because we talked about the wonderful, absolutely delicious soft serve that they serve over at Aaron McKenna's. If you are interested in trying Aaron McKenna's, which we definitely recommend that you even just stop in and just check it out, even if you don't try anything. Even for our people out there who don't have an allergy, stop on in, learn. There's never anything wrong with learning, especially about different culinary items. Go, expand your horizon, try something, because you never know, you'll probably end up liking it. So if you are looking to find Erin McKenna's, you're going to find it behind Raglan Road, somewhat close to the boathouse. It's going to be on that walkway, the pathway leading toward the boathouse, between the boathouse and now Paddlefish, around that old Portobello, now Terralina area. So if you're walking over there from Paddlefish over to the boathouse, you'll turn right into that little alleyway and it'll be on your left-hand side. You can't really miss it. If you don't know where it is, just search it on My Disney Experience and use the location on the map or request directions. So we're going to move on from allergy options there. We kind of wanted to briefly cover that and just kind of say, hey, like, if you have an allergy, don't worry, because there are so many different options out there, and Disney is going to do, no matter what destination you're at, if you're at Disneyland, an overseas Disneyland park, Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney World, they're going to do their absolute best to make sure that you are safe and you don't have to worry when you're eating anything while you're enjoying your vacation. So we're going to move on into our character dining portion of this podcast. The questions around character dining are, what is it? What are the benefits? And do you have any suggestions? And what is it? It's pretty self-explanatory there. It's character dining. You're going to be dining with a character or with characters. The characters are going to be different at each location. However, the characters may not always be the same at the same location. There are tons of benefits for dining with characters because you don't have to wait in a line. You get to sit down and enjoy your meal in either family style or buffet with your family, and get to connect with the characters one-on-one. And the connection with the characters is going to be on that personal level because you don't feel rushed. You're not standing in line for an hour just to see one character, and then you go stand in another line to see just one more character. So you're going to see several characters, get their autographs, get your pictures with them. Now, PhotoPass options are not necessarily going to be found around the different character dining experiences. So that's one thing to keep in mind. You will be taking your own pictures, or you could just ask a cast member to take it for you. They're always going to be more than happy to help you with that. When it comes to character dining, there are several different categories, if you will. So there are some that are going to be maybe a little bit more upbeat versus ones that are going to be a little bit more tame and quiet and maybe a little bit more intimate. So it's kind of going to depend on what you're looking for. Obviously, every single travel party to a Disney park is going to be interested in a certain type of experience, or they're going to want to get something out of it that maybe someone else might not, or they're looking for maybe a different type of experience. So on one hand, we're going to kind of compare and contrast 4 different character dining experiences. 2 are going to be pretty similar, and 2 are going to be, again, pretty similar. So kind of think 2 on one hand, 2 on the other hand. So on one side, you're going to have places like Chef Mickey's and your Crystal Palaces. So they're going to be more upbeat, maybe a little bit louder. Now, we're going to get into the noise in just a second. But when we say upbeat, Chef Mickey's, you may find yourself at some point, waving your napkin around your head and standing up and clapping and dancing around. So it's going to be that more kid-geared type of dining experience. If you have young ones, they're going to absolutely love these types of experiences. But maybe, if you're with an older audience, you want to do a character dining, maybe you might find that you might enjoy something a little bit different. Of course, it's all going to be kind of depending on what you're interested in or what your preference is. So when it comes down to noise, there may be some differences. And there are several factors that are going to kind of play into this, and that's going to be the restaurant size, and the design. When you think about it, Chef Mickey's is located inside of the atrium at the Contemporary Resort. Now, what that means is it's always going to be loud. It's a very open, very large atrium. You have all of those rooms and all of those guests. You have the monorail coming through. You have the restaurant. And you have everything that's going on right in the same big, massive room. It's basically the entire resort right there. So when you think about noise, it's not necessarily just from the restaurant, but you kind of have like everything else going on. So if you're looking for something a little bit quieter, more intimate, maybe something else might be a little bit more suited for you. So it's just maybe something to keep in mind. In addition, Crystal Palace may seem a little bit loud to some guests, and that's mainly because of the style, the design. So again, you know, the noise, the volume of the restaurant is largely going to be design. In Crystal Palace, you have the tall ceilings, and just the way it's designed, it just may get a little bit louder at sometimes throughout the day. So in contrast, we're going to be talking about Tusker House and Ohana. Now, Tusker House and Ohana are typically a little bit easier to probably get a dining reservation for. However, Tusker House is going to be character dining all throughout the day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner service, where Ohana is going to be just breakfast service for character. Dinner service at Ohana is non-character. So when we talk about noise and we talk about restaurant size and the types of different experiences, these two kind of are a little bit separate. So let's talk about Ohana first. Ohana is already a smaller restaurant, a smaller dining location. So you have a lot less tables inside of the same, basically about the same amount of space. So when you think about that, you don't have as many people. Your volume, your noise is going to be a little bit quieter. Again, food is going to be absolutely wonderful. It's served family style, all you care to enjoy. And instead of just Mickey waffles, you do get Stitch waffles. If that's not a selling point, I don't know what is. In addition to Ohana, you have Tusker House. And Tusker House has multiple different dining rooms. So what that means is they're putting less guests inside of the same room, and that helps to limit the volume and the noise level there. Again, you're going to have a buffet. Now, the buffet is also African food. So when we say African food, it's more just kind of African influenced. But of course, there are tons of different options. The menu at Tusker House is absolutely large. There are so many different options to choose from. You can be as adventurous or mainstream as you want and eat as many chicken nuggets as your heart's desire. So that kind of briefly covers some benefits and what character dining is and kind of what you can expect at a character dining experience. Of course, the characters come through on a rotation, so you are going to see each character throughout your meal. When it comes to best picks, we try not to say what restaurant to go to. Even on Kingdom Cuisine, like on the website, we try not to say you absolutely must go here and eat this, because we know for a fact not everyone's going to like it. So when it comes to best picks, we try not to influence on what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat, just because one person is going to like something and the next is not. So best picks, keep that in mind. I mean, we'll throw a couple out. If you are interested in character dining, we definitely suggest pulling up the actual menus, the official menus from Disney, if you're at Disneyland or at Disney World, and pull up the menus and say, what do they have? What does Disney have to say about it? What kind of experience am I getting? Pick what you're most interested in. So our preferences, we're not gonna say our best picks. We're going to say our preferences, like where we like to go to the most. And those two dining locations are going to be Ohana for the character breakfast and Tusker House. We like doing Tusker House because you get the ability to do the Rivers of Light dining package. And if you don't know what the Rivers of Light dining package is, we definitely recommend you check it out. We talked about it when they announced it over on the blog, so you can head on over and get some information there. But we're going to cover it here as well. So the dining package allows the guests to enjoy their meal with the characters in the designated restaurant. So the Rivers of Light dining package is at Tiffin's and at Tusker House, which is character. And the character meal at Tusker House already is wonderful. Great menu. You get to meet your characters, get your autographs, and enjoy your meal. Again, in a more relaxed type of environment, while you also get designated seating for the Rivers of Light show that evening. So after your meal, your server is going to come over and give you your vouchers. You want to keep hold of your vouchers. You'll get one voucher for each guest in your dining party, and then you will head to a designated area to enter into the theater for Rivers of Light. And your seating's already there. You are already guaranteed a nice seat for Rivers of Light. If you're interested in seeing Rivers of Light and you don't want to use a fast pass, but you're interested in trying Tusker House, just see if the Rivers of Light dining package is available, because you will not be upset. Just as far as everything, the bang for your buck, you're really getting a lot of things there with a lot of perks, all those characters, wonderful meal, all you care to enjoy, and you also get that designated seating. And we also do frequently go to Ohana for the character breakfast. Again, the Stitch waffles, that's a big selling point right there. The Ohana restaurant in general definitely has some mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people hate it. Other people like it sometimes and don't like it other times. So it's always, like we say, we never try to tell you where to go, because it always depends on your opinion and your experience. But of our experiences, we've always found that Ohana, they always preach that, you're in the Ohana, you're joining the Ohana. And the food is absolutely wonderful. You get your Stitch waffles, you get your Mickey waffles, eggs, bacon, sausage links, fried potatoes. We have pictures of it over on the blog, so if you're interested in checking out Ohana Character Breakfast, head on over and check that out. So that kind of wraps up our main question section of the podcast, and we're going to move on to the announcements. So our excitement for all of these announcements is just overflowing, and we cannot wait to share all of this news. So we're just going to get right into it. So we're going to start right in Florida. We're going to start at Disney Cruise Line and then head on over to Walt Disney World. So at Disney Cruise Line over in Port Canaveral, they just announced that the Chew has partnered with Disney once again for culinary port adventures on the Disney Cruise Line. What does that mean? That means that the Chew has now gone and approved different types of excursions, if you will, that you can separately purchase while on your Disney cruise. So these magical experiences are going to be kind of anything from visiting a vineyard to different types of cooking demonstrations and like immersions. So you can really embrace the culture while you're visiting these absolutely amazing locations and just dive into the food and the culture right in the heart of it. We love everything that the Chew's been doing so far with Disney. Everything at the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. These culinary port adventures are going to be just wonderful, and they're all throughout all of the different types of destinations that Disney Cruise Line visits. If you're interested in reading more, we definitely suggest you check out the Disney Cruise Line's official website, where you can see all of the different types of adventures that are the Chew approved. And we're moving over to the Walt Disney World Resort, where they announced a new feature will be headed to My Disney Experience. That's right, you will soon be able to open up your room with your phone. Now, this is going to be a controversial topic, whether or not it will be useful for most guests or not. We don't necessarily know. We want to know your opinion, so let us know what you think of the new digital key feature. So this new feature will start at Disney's Wilderness Lodge and then kind of move on to different deluxe resorts. Similar fashion to everything else that Disney usually releases. Magic Band started in the deluxe resorts. They have less guests, so they can kind of control it a little bit better, then move on to moderates, where you have just a little bit more rooms, and then you move down to the values. So they're starting at the Wilderness Lodge, and guests will log into the My Disney Experience app and select that they would like to open their room with this phone. And the thing is, you don't just open your room with your phone. Your phone will also now open the pools, concierge or club level access areas, fitness centers, elevators, just about everything your Magic Band does, except for a few things. Again, you'll still have to scan your Magic Band for dining and getting into the parks and your fast passes, but they're kind of moving to the using your smartphone to do just about everything that your Magic Band does. Which kind of plays into the controversial topic of whether or not it's useful because your Magic Band isn't using batteries. Your phone battery obviously is going to drain throughout the day. So when you're getting back to your room, it's 11 o'clock at night, your phone's dead. So you whip out your Magic Band, which you should already have on your wrist or on a keychain, and just scan your Magic Band and you're in. So let us know what you think about the digital key feature, whether you think it'll be useful or you would like to use it. Also, Walt Disney World news, Pandora is getting Conservation Initiative utility suits. It's a long name, however, these new suits will be fully rolled out by April 22nd, 2018. If that date sounds familiar, that's because that is the 20th anniversary of Disney's Animal Kingdom. So that's just right around the corner here, and these new suits are quite impressive. They have so much detail built into them, and they have already been seen around Pandora. These new experiences, if you will, are going to be just another way that guests can kind of interact with the world of Pandora and the Valley of Moara, and just kind of embrace the culture and embrace the in total immersive experience that Pandora already is. Again, these will be fully rolled out by April 22nd of this year, so just right around the corner. If you can't wait to see one, head on over to Disney Parks blog where they posted a promo video of it, and they've also been seen in the parks. You can probably find them on YouTube. And lastly, Walt Disney World. We're talking about Toy Story Land here, so get excited, get hyped, because Toy Story Land is coming. It's right around the corner, and we can't wait any longer. Woody's Lunchbox has us beyond excited. So Toy Story Land will open to guests on June 30th of this year, so 2018, and Woody's Lunchbox will continue on with all of the already amazing theming that will already exist in Toy Story Land. So Toy Story Land guests will shrink down to the size of a toy, and Woody's Lunchbox continues that theming. So you're going to walk up to the lunchbox, you're going to order your food, which is going to be mainly sandwich based. Also, you'll find some soda floats and so much more. If you're interested in seeing some pictures from the preview, head on over to kingdomcuisine.com and let us know what you think. Of course, let's talk about the menu. I mean, the food looks so good. You've got s'more French toast sandwiches. You've got raspberry tarts with dried fruit on top. You've got hazelnut tarts with caramelized bacon. There's so many more items. Breakfast bowls, different types of sandwiches that just look and sound phenomenal. These will come with some funky flavor combinations, but, it's Toy Story. You really can't go wrong. So Toy Story Land, June 30th, 2018, Woody's Lunchbox. Food sounds amazing, and we can't wait. We're leaving the East Coast, heading out to the West Coast for Disneyland. So Disneyland, our Disneyland people out there listening to the KC podcast, you are getting mobile ordering. That's right, mobile ordering is heading to Disneyland out in California. Similar to Walt Disney World, guests will be able to place their order right on their phone and already pay for their food and head to a designated area to pick up their order. This completely bypasses the lines that can sometimes exist, especially during peak seasons, during the summertime, on the weekends when all your locals come out. There are some differences. Disneyland will initially launch with the ability to apply discounts. So if you are an annual pass holder, you're interested in getting a corn dog or what have you, you can place your order right on your phone at participating restaurants and head to a designated area, pick it up. You don't have to wait in line. You're off to enjoy the next thing that Disneyland has to offer. There are some questions floating around on why can't you place an order on Starbucks? And we're going to save that conversation for a future podcast because we really want to talk about that. It seems to be highly questioned and people don't necessarily understand everything that has to deal with that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But be sure to check that out, and we can't wait to let you know what we think and some little bits of information there. So Disneyland mobile ordering, check it out if you're a Disneyland person. It's going to be a great way to bypass the line and grab your food and continue on having all of that magic that already exists. We're leaving the United States. We're heading overseas. We're going to start right in Tokyo Disneyland, and then we're going to finish up in Disneyland Paris. So Tokyo Disneyland, the all-new Dreaming Up Parade, is absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, we definitely recommend you check it out. It's all over YouTube, all over the internet, because it is wonderful. The floats are breathtaking. The soundtrack is incredible. It's just everything that you want in a parade, just right there for you. So if you can get to Tokyo Disneyland to check it out, we definitely recommend that you do. If not, I guess watching it online is going to have to do. We don't want to talk about too many specifics because we don't want to ruin anything, because it has some amazing different types of features in it and surprises that we don't want to ruin for you when you watch it. So definitely check out the all-new Tokyo Disneyland Dreaming Up Parade. Now, we're finishing up here, like we said, in Disneyland Paris. Right now, Disneyland Paris is going on the Pirates and Princesses kind of battle, if you will. The all-new interactive show, Disney Pirate or Princess, Make Your Choice, is one great way for guests to kind of get right into the storyline at Disneyland Paris right now. It's part of the 25th anniversary celebration at Disneyland Paris, where guests can choose, are you a pirate or are you a princess? Let us know. So here's what we want you to do. Tweet us at Kingdom Cuisine, hashtag KC Podcast, and let us know, pirates or princesses. Let us know, and we're going to pick one person that tweets us, and we will send you a highly limited KC button. And we want to know, pirates or princesses. So again, tweet us at Kingdom Cuisine, pirates or princesses, and you'll be entered to win one awesome button. So like we said, part of the 25th anniversary celebration, we can't wait until the Summer of Superheroes begins, which is just around the corner as well. Pirates and Princesses are here for now. Marvel Summer of Superheroes is right around the corner. If you haven't seen, Disneyland Paris has been gearing up for this amazing summer. We definitely recommend you check out Disneyland Paris's website. There's so many exciting things coming, so many amazing experiences, so many character encounters, so many different ride changes that are just incredible. It's just the time to visit Disneyland Paris right now with all of these amazing experiences. So Marvel Summer of Superheroes begins June 10th, 2018. We can't wait. So that'll do it for the KC Podcast, Season 1, Episode 2. We're so excited that you decided to join us. Of course, you can submit your questions to us via kingdomcuisine.com. Under the Home tab, it'll have a little pull-down menu. Select the KC Podcast. You can select that. It'll pull up a little form. Fill that out and let us know what questions you have, and we'll answer it right here on the podcast. Of course, you can submit your question to us via Twitter at Kingdom Cuisine and using the hashtag AskKCPodcast. If you're into social media and all of that, you can follow us all over the place. Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter are all at Kingdom Cuisine. And of course, you can follow us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Kingdom Cuisine 1. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for joining us. We're super excited you decided to listen to the KC Podcast. Of course, subscribe, let us know, give us a thumbs up wherever, and we're so excited. Thanks for listening. We'll see you real soon.